A guitar-playing private detective dives into a world of family secrets, a top-secret naval training program for dolphins, and the ghosts of his own past. Hi, I'm author and creative warrior Sarah Faxon, and we are diving behind the page of Corey Lynn Fayman's book, Ballast Point Breakdown. I recently had the pleasure of reading the book Ballast Point Breakdown by Corey Lynn Fayman, which was recommended to me by my author friend Cornelia Fay. Now, this book takes place in my very own hometown of sunny San Diego, so I really connected with the setting, and I found it especially appealing being that I've been cooped up in quarantine for so long. As the book went along, as the story went along, we follow the main character, Raleigh Waters, a private detective who also plays guitar, through a community that I find very special, that I've been to so many times, I can't even begin to gander how many times I've been there. So it takes place primarily between Ocean Beach and Point Loma, which are just a couple of miles away from where I am now. And Ocean Beach, or OB, as we locals call it, is this phenomenal hippie beach town that has this very warm, welcoming feel to it, where you can walk the streets barefooted and just go into any taco shop and see at least two people you know. Very local, very wonderful, absolutely dear community. And Corey Lynn Fayman totally captured the Ocean Beach vibe. And being that, as I was saying, I've been in quarantine for so long, there's so many places that I haven't been able to visit, but was able to, in a sense, with the character Raleigh Waters. Now, this character is jamming out in an OB club when a young lady comes up to him and brings him a case. Now, this case is one that takes Raleigh through all the ghosts of his past and through the question of how long do you let the past hold on to you, especially when other people keep bringing it up. Does he let this control him and influence everything that he does, or does he take a deep healing breath, acknowledge that this happened, and move on? So this is one of the challenges that's presented to Raleigh as he's trying to solve this missing persons case. Now, this missing persons case quickly develops into something that Raleigh never would have expected, and as the reader, you're kind of blown off your seat from the get-go, almost literally to an extent. The book starts off at a really nice event at the Admiral's Club, which is a place that I know of here in town. And it's at this lovely banquet that's sponsored and hosted by one of the elite families in town. But a boat crashes the party, and a young lady sets herself on fire trying to make a point. So, reading how these cases, Raleigh's case and this intense event at the Admiral's Club, come together is the backbone of this story, and it's just such a delightful read. I really enjoyed the storytelling. Now, to be honest, this is the fourth book in the Raleigh Waters series, and I have only read this one, but I promise you, 1 through 3 have now been added to my list of next reads. This was such a great adventure, and it was such a fun mix of good storytelling, intrigue, and comedy. There were so many times when I actually laughed aloud, and many of the scenes that made me laugh or that really stood out were between Raleigh and his father, Dean, who is this retired Navy captain or naval officer, and just their interactions, especially after reading this book over the Father's Day weekend. I don't know, it was such a kick to read the interactions between these two characters, these two adult men having these awkward conversations that, fathers and sons or daughters and mothers have with each other. And so it was just a really, really good, very good character development. Even though I haven't read books 1 through 3, I felt like I knew Raleigh very well, and he was someone I most definitely identified with. Some of the parts that really stood out to me were the deep San Diego scenes. This story takes place in Point Loma, as I mentioned, and they talk a lot, or the author talks a lot about the dolphin training program that has happened in the dolphin pens. I used to be a deckhand on various vessels and would go to the refueling dock, which is directly across from the dolphin pens. So I'm very familiar with these guys and got to watch them play and train. So that was really cool, being able to see this, in my mind again, even though behind closed doors in quarantine. So those scenes really stuck out to me, or going to Sunset Cliffs, which is this gorgeous, beautiful area in town, right on the water, Sunset Cliffs. And it was just such a blast to travel through my city through the eyes of Raleigh waters. And if you're looking for a great summer read, this is it. Wonderful, wonderful story. I read it probably in less than half a day. So if you're looking for a really good, entertaining read, this is it. Now, if you're looking to ask this author any questions, or if you've read it, or if you want to know more about the book, please leave those in the comments below, because in our next video, I will be interviewing author Corey Lynn Fayman. So if you leave a comment, I might just give you a shout out in our next video. So guys, definitely be sure to do that. Also, be sure to subscribe and click that notification bell so you will be in the know whenever the next videos from S. Faxon Productions are released. And with that, guys, we'll see you next time. Cheers, dears.